Have you ever been in debt over your head? I have. In fact, I had so much debt, I was so overwhelmed, I absolutely could not breathe. What did it look like? Well, I had quite a large amount of debt in credit cards, had several of them that were maxed out. I had a house note, a big one, big truck note, boat note for a period of time, and I also had other debts and obligations, and I was drowning. It appeared that the credit cards were running anywhere from 19 to 22% interest rates, and so it was almost impossible just to keep up with the interest. I don't know, maybe you've been there. Well, I got to praying about this, and I said, God, what can I do about this? I have one card that's got $40,000 of credit card debt, and that thing is impossible to overcome. The Lord spoke to me. And for those of you that don't believe in talking about money, this is not for you. You can stop right here and go and get out of here. Because all you're going to do is gripe and complain, and preachers just want money. That's not what this is about. So the Lord spoke to me, and he said, if you'll give me $4,000, I will get rid of that debt. I said, like you, I said, what, Lord? If I can put $4,000 on that card, I can start paying that thing off. He said, if you'll give me the $4,000, I'll get rid of that debt. So I thought about it, and I prayed about it, and I said, all right, I know that was God. So I said, all right, here are some things that I had to address. And if you ever want to do something like this might be something that you address. I've done this so many times, I know it works for me. And if it doesn't work for you and you don't like the idea, that's fine. This is what worked for me. So I said, Lord, where do you want it to go? Because I want it to be in someone or some ministry that would believe for increase like a good farmer would. If I wanted to go farm a field, I want to make sure it's good land, right? Because when I get ready to plow that land up and plant the seed, I want it to come back multiplied. All right. Next thing I knew, how much it was, God had already told me that. And what was I planning on getting as a harvest? Well, any good farmer knows if he planted a field, 1 acre, how much that acre is going to about yield. So I'm going, all right. So I picked a person, and it just happened to be somebody in the ministry. I'm not going to tell you, you probably know who it was. And the reason I'm not is because it doesn't make any difference, because it wouldn't apply to you anyway. It's just where would God want you to plant? Because your fields are different. All right. So I had the amount, I had the person that I needed to go to, so I made the gift and I sent it on, and all of a sudden, things started happening in my business, started multiplying. Money started coming in from my ministry, which had not before, and I began to see that people just came up to me and put money in my hand. I mean, it was amazing. The next thing I know, what I'm doing is when that money comes in, because I know what I'd pray for, I start to put it on that debt. Well, I'm telling you, within 6 months, I had that $40,000 debt paid off. Now, that was pretty amazing to me. And maybe that's not amazing to you, but I was amazed because I had felt this great sense of relief. Now, over the period of time, I got rid of all my other debts in a similar type fashion, and by being very diligent about paying my debts and not getting back into more credit card debt. Do I have a credit card? Yes, but I pay it off as soon as I get it. If I go buy gas, I pay it off when I get the bill. I mean, it's that quick. I don't wait and let that thing accumulate at all. I learned that lesson. That's a good lesson. All right, so here's what I found out. And the good lessons that I learned was God has set the day of prosperity against the day of poverty, so that you might not know the way of God from the beginning to the end. And Paul, and that's a paraphrase, and Paul says something along the lines. He says, I have learned both to abound and I have learned to be abased. And I have learned to be thankful in both of those ways. So, just so you know, people don't always just make it out of here without going through adversity, okay? I didn't, and I still do. But I found out that when you start to abound, things can come along and take it away from you. You set your eyes on the dollar and be like an eagle, make its wings and fly away. What are some of the things that can come against you? Your health, your business decisions, a bad choice about something that can be one of two choices, and you make the wrong choice. And I've done all those things, and I've done them multiplicity of times. So what I found out was, like, two men that I knew that became millionaires, and this one guy was 20, I remember him saying it. When I get to be 30 years old, I'm gonna be a multimillionaire. I went, wow, he's bold. He sold insurance. Sure enough, when he's 30 years old, he became a millionaire. Guess what? He got cancer, and by the time he was 32, he'd lost all his money trying to get his health back, and he died anyway. Another man did the same thing. He was a multimillionaire, lived in a beautiful home, and he died at an early age. I'm not saying that to scare anybody. I'm just telling you. Prosperity is not about having a lot of money. Prosperity in the Bible is about having a good life, a healthy life, one that your body corresponds to the personality that you are, and you're abundant in your spirit. And if you've got a few things around you and you're happy, we've learned to be content with the things that we have. I'm content. Where I live, I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. I'm a Smith, and I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. So my point is, be content where you are. I talked to one lady, and she had everything. Would you please pray for me? For what for? I want another house. And I said, well, go buy it. You got one, sell it and go get another one. And she had everything. She had health, money, family, a good husband. She had everything you could ever possibly imagine, but she wanted me to pray for her another house. Like, come on. How many houses can you own? How many cars can you own? I mean, if you're rich and you have the money to buy a bunch of houses, to buy a bunch of cars, to have collectibles and paintings and stuff like that, I applaud you. But don't set your eyes on them, because here's what I'm going to tell you. Once pride hits, that little kingdom's going to start coming down, and you're not going to have it when you pass this earth. It's happened way too many times to way too many people. When you're in adversity and you're in poverty, rejoice also. You're not going to stay there forever. Don't curse God. If you will just wait and let God do his thing, he'll build you up again. He'll give your health back. He'll give you finances back. He'll give you a place to live. You'll have clothes on your back, a nice car to drive. I'm just saying, he pits one against the other, that you may not know the end from the beginning. Learn to be thankful whether you are abased or abound. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. You're going to live a joyful life all your life. God bless you guys, and go in peace. Love you. Bye.